I've had Tesla insurance for 2.5 years. I've had 3 different claims for 3 different accidents, and although I've had mostly negative experiences, I still, to this day, insure my Teslas through Tesla Insurance. So I'll go over my experiences and explain what Tesla insurance really is, and hopefully help you decide if it's worth it for you. And also, I may actually be switching soon, but I'll explain why. Just like any other insurance, you can customize your coverage, and of course, the more your coverage is, the more you'll be paying for insurance. And Tesla insurance is actually really cool because you can edit all this from the Tesla app. Every little change you make to your insurance policy, you can see how it impacts your rate in real time. However, as you may or may not know, after you select your coverages, outside of your miles that you drive in a year, which Tesla insurance also monitors and automatically adjusts month to month, your insurance rate from there depends entirely on what they call a safety score. And the safety score is basically Tesla's driver monitoring system. So Tesla insurance will monitor specific things, categorize them, and give you a score based on that. So let me just show you. In each state, it's a little bit different, but here in Nevada, here's what Tesla insurance is currently tracking. Now, most of these are self-explanatory, but Tesla gives a brief description of each, and they show you the median so you can compare yourself to other Tesla insurance drivers. They also add breakdowns by day and breakdowns by each specific trip. So let's say you had an incident of excessive speeding, you can go in your Tesla app and track down to the day and to the minute of when that incident occurred. So Tesla combines all of this into one and gives you a total score, which is your safety score, and that is what your insurance premium is based off of. The better you drive, the higher safety score you get, and the higher safety score you get, the less you have to pay. But no matter what, when you sign up for Tesla insurance initially, a default safety score of 90 is used to calculate the premium for your first 2 months. And Tesla says the average safety score is about 90. I don't know if this is true. My wife and I are constantly between 96 and 99, and I feel like that's not hard to do. But anyways, I hope this all makes sense because once you get your safety score, you can see your estimated future insurance premiums based on whatever safety score that you have. Now, because of all of this, if you get a pretty good safety score, Tesla insurance can be a lot cheaper than other insurance companies, which is what makes it so appealing. But one drawback I've heard from some people is that they don't like that Tesla monitors all of your driving, but I gotta say, I at least appreciate the transparency of it. Sure, they track a lot, and whether you agree it should affect your premium or not, I get it, but they tell you exactly what impacts your rate and when instances happen. So if your score goes lower, you can see exactly what happened and when it happened. Now that all sounds pretty good so far, and I get it, I agree, but I did say I've had 3 claims and mostly negative experiences. So instead of me sitting here and complaining, let me just tell you about my 3 claims. My first claim was the day after I got my 2022 Model 3, someone backed into me. It was a hit and run, they did not leave a note, and yes, I did say it correctly, this happened literally 14 hours after I picked up my car. Thank goodness for Sentry Mode, I was able to get their plate. I filed the claim through Tesla insurance, but it ended up going through their insurance, which was State Farm, because obviously it was their fault. And this claim went really well. I actually spoke to the State Farm rep a few times. The process was quick, it was smooth, and eventually my car was repaired with $0 out of my pocket. Now my second claim was a different story. Here I was driving along when someone decided to not only cross a solid white line, but to do so right when I pulled up next to them. This was 100% their fault, as evidenced by video and as deemed so by Tesla insurance. But there was one big issue, and that was that this driver didn't have insurance. Anyways, I paid my $1,000 deductible, Tesla insurance paid for my repairs, and the plan was to eventually Tesla insurance go after him, get their money back, and also get my deductible back. And well, today is March 19th. This happened in February of 2024, almost a year and a half ago. And I've had like 5 or 6 different claims adjusters assigned to me for this claim. Each time I get an email, I get a new person. I reach out via phone call, via text, via email to kind of ask for an update. And I have heard back a total of 0 times from anybody at Tesla Insurance. In my first claim, when I called the State Farm rep, they would answer, and if they didn't answer, they would call me back like the next day. With Tesla insurance, communication is just honestly non-existent. And do note, this is just my story, but if you hear from anybody else with Tesla insurance, this is a very, very common theme that it's just basically impossible to get a hold of your adjuster. And without mentioning names, I was in the Tesla service center a while back for a Tesla event, just talking to the employees, and I asked about Tesla insurance. They told me they've had people go into the service center and not leave until they were talked to by their adjuster about their Tesla insurance claim. And they've had to call the police to get them kicked out of the service center. The service center has nothing to do with Tesla insurance. They can't help them if they wanted to, but people have been so fed up about this. They've been getting kicked out of service centers because they just won't leave until they want to talk to somebody. It's just a mess. So for my second claim, where is my deductible? When will I get it back? I have no idea and I can't get an answer. Now finally, my third claim. Pretty recently, I actually totaled my Model 3. I ran over a rock that tore through the battery and the damage was so severe, my Model 3 was deemed a total loss. But it wasn't deemed a total loss initially, and I actually heard from my adjuster this time. I got a few emails during the whole process that my repairs were being estimated, then a few days later an email saying it was deemed a total loss, and then a few days later sending me some documents to fill out to start the total loss process. Now all of these emails were just generic copy paste send emails, but I'm not going to complain. I was actually getting some communication and I was happy to know that at least behind the scenes things were moving along. But I gotta say, this process was slow. The bank that I financed my Tesla through was waiting for about a month to get the payment and the paperwork that my Model 3 was totaled. And now a month might not seem like a long time, but on a car that's totaled that you're still making payments on, every day stings a little bit. And based on my previous experiences, I had a fear in the back of my mind that this process might take like up to a year. And I didn't want to pay for a car for a year that I didn't even own anymore because it was totaled. And now this may or may not be advice, it may not be related to, but I had a follower of mine recommend to me to file a complaint through the Nevada Division of Insurance online, so I did. And 2 days later after that, the bank I financed my Tesla through got all the stuff they needed and my car was deemed a total loss and the process was complete. So yes, for this third time, I did hear from Tesla Insurance, although it was just generic copy-paste emails and the process was slow, but it did get done. My car did get paid off. I'm not making payments anymore, so I'm okay with that. So through all of this, I still have Tesla insurance, but maybe not for long. We took our Model Y on 2 big road trips just a few months apart, and our insurance rate skyrocketed. Like I mentioned earlier, Tesla insurance tracks and automatically adjusts all the miles that you drive. So for that period of time, Tesla insurance dinged us as driving over 25,000 miles in a year, which is a lot and which caused our premium to go way higher. I actually almost canceled it right then and there, but after a few months when our driving kind of leveled out, our premium came down and was back to normal. So if you're a big road tripper, just be aware if you get Tesla insurance, your premium might be high, but your miles will be accurate. So take that how you will. And also, I love saving money just as much as the next person, but I just got a Model 3 Performance not too long ago. And with Tesla's safety score system, if I take this thing to the track just one time to have some fun, it can absolutely kill my safety score, which would make my premium much more expensive, which would ruin the only reason to get Tesla insurance in the first place. Now I don't have like a track day planned, but I want to go out to the track sometime with it, and I can almost promise you that when I do, my Model 3 will be insured through somebody else that won't track my driving for that day. Now overall, Tesla insurance can be pretty cheap, but you get what you pay for. If you're a great driver and never get in any accidents, you can save a lot of money and still have really good coverage. And I know this video makes it sound like I'm a terrible driver, but in my defense, I've been driving since I was 16. I'm almost 30. I've only had 3 accidents, and you heard about them all. They've all happened in the past 3 years. Before Teslas, I had a perfectly clean driving record, so just want to throw that out there. So I still consider myself a pretty good driver, but if you're a terrible driver, just don't get Tesla insurance. And it's unfortunate because there's nothing wrong with the safety score system, the coverage, the price. It's just all the lack of communication. And by lack, I mean complete absence of communication. And look, I'm all for advancements in AI and technology, but sometimes, especially in situations where your car is damaged and needs repairs, you just need to talk to a person. So that's my story with Tesla Insurance. I hope this video and my experience was helpful for you. If you have any questions about anything, leave a comment down below. But as always, thank you for watching and catch you in the next one.